Okay, I believe that we are live now.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. So we are doing a recap of week 4 of the Best Trader competition, and we have Jill with us from NASDAQ, as well as Sanchit, who is one of the competitors. Sanchit, would you like to tell us a little bit?
Oh, we also have another too. So can everyone just tell us who's on the line? So we have Sanjit, we have Christian.
And you are there. And John? No.
Maybe John's not on. So we've got
Sanchit and
Christian and Jill and myself and Carolyn. Okay, all right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Jill, are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, perfect. We're not seeing you, Jill.
You're not?
Oh, there you are. Perfect.
Nice to meet you.
Okay. All right. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so we wanted to hear from you, Sanchit, and from Christian about your experience so far. So far, you were second in week 2, I see. You were heavy trader in ADVL. I know that you had a big loss that first week, but then you seem to climb way back up and are in 5th place in the 3rd week and second in the 4th week. So what did you do differently to, regain your equity and change your trading patterns?
Talking about me, Sanjit?
Yes. This is for Sanjit, yes.
Yeah. Actually, I started looking for more, how to improve my strategies on various time frames. So actually, I started doing more of a scalping of like more 5 to 10 minutes trade. And based on the community which I follow these days around in the US, so I started watching different people and how they would trade differently according to the setups which were given. So yeah, I started improvising my own strategies and developing them. So with time, I gained some and benefited with them.
Excellent. Well, clearly that worked. Congratulations on being in second place.
Yeah.
Okay, and Christian, what about you? The first week, you were actually in. Was it first place in the first week?
He was in. Let me see this one second.
Not the first week.
You were in 7th the first week.
Right.
And first in week 2. Week 3, you seem to have a pretty major loss. It looked like you made one trade and had a major loss. What happened?
It was expected, since there are some items in or parts of the strategy that are not, finalized. Trying to adapt to the market every time, it doesn't seem to be necessarily good for bulls. It's way much better for bears. In the last few weeks, you see quite many stocks popping up in the first half hour and then just fading. And that's very good for shorts. I'm not so experienced in that so far, so I'm still learning how to basically take advantage of volume, of momentum, so ride the stocks up, which is good. If I look back into the wins versus losses, I think that's good. The one thing that I need to fix as soon as possible would be the exit strategy, which clearly did not work. Unfortunately, the false positives, I got 2 of those during trade. I had a big drawdown, but then stock came back up and then I exited with a win. And that's really unfortunate because that's not a good plan anyway, so I should have exited with a smaller loss earlier. So that has been the problem. The winnings are consistent. I think that works fine. The one thing that I have to do is definitely after entering a trade, have a clearly set exit strategy.
That is smart. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very good plan of action, is to have a better exit strategy. Jill, what do you think? What are your thoughts, Jill? Advice?
It's interesting listening to Christian and Sanjit make those comments where it's been really difficult if you have been a bull over the past week, or I think, regardless if you're a bull or a bear, the market is so susceptible to any headlines. that hit the tape, and we saw that especially over the past 7 days, whether it's a comment out of the White House, whether it's a piece of macroeconomic data, the ISM, I think really threw investors and traders for a loop. And we saw that in market activity yesterday. And then you get an equally negative piece of data that came out this morning in terms of the services sector, and the market sold off after that. And then it reversed almost 50 to 60 handles on the S&P because people took that good bad news as good news, and now they're expecting, I think it's a 93% chance that we're going to get another rate cut on October 30th when the FOMC meeting wraps up. So what makes it difficult it makes it difficult for whether you're a day trader or a swing trader to hold positions. I mean, within a span of an hour, 2 hours, or even on the overnight, it can really impact your P&L, which is why, and we said this, I think it was the last week of August, the first week of September, where we saw that pocket of volatility. We saw a lot of those volatility ETNs and ETFs being traded, like TVIX, VXX, UVXY, and I believe TVIX was the 10th most heavily traded stock in your group on volume, which makes sense because those products are designed for intraday volatility. They are not designed as portfolio hedges, but to play those up and down swings like we saw yesterday and today, those products can be good for it. So I was encouraged to see traders going outside of traditional equities, whether it's the SPYs, the Qs, but looking at the vol products.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move to the next slide. We're going to talk about what stocks were the most actively traded week 4.
Week 4,
right.
And we're seeing pretty much the same high volume stocks as we did week 3 and week 2. So again, and I know Christian, you are also heavy in Yuma and CTRM. Yuma was our most high volume stock traded. And we went over this last week with the announcement that they are going to be purchasing, or Red Mountain will purchase all their outstanding senior secured bank indebts. And then the second one is MNK, who's restructuring their balance sheet and is trying to become more profitable. And the third is, again, CLDR. That, like Jill was saying, was impacted very much by, talks of trade negotiations with China. They jumped 14% after the second quarter financial results. And so that's pretty much remained the same.
Right, pretty much. Yeah, but was there a specific reason as to why, Christian, you traded that stock?
Yeah, Yuma.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Is
Yum Brands, yeah.
Was it?
Yes, it's these stocks become very attractive from the volume perspective. There's a lot of momentum, and alongside with the momentum, there is some predictability, so to speak, as far as I can see it. Of course, I'm still learning, but as long as you watch level 2, at some point, if you split the day into smaller intervals, like the first minute, then the last 5 minutes of the first 30 minutes. And then, there's the lunch, and immediately after lunch, and there's the closing, the last hour. If you look into these particular time frames, you get to see some, some patterns. There is a specific amount of emotions that are being, traded within these time frames. And there is a lot of hectic movement in the first minute when everybody jumps in. It can go. It can break the high of the pre-market easily, or it can just go, fade off really abrupt. And then many of these, actually this week, they recovered after maybe 15 minutes. And then in the last 5 minutes of the, the morning, the first half hour of the morning, they just, jump back up and go to the, higher day. So this momentum, if you follow consistently, somehow you get familiarized over time. So that's what attracts me. There's volume. There is, of course, some catalyst all the time. That's important. So I don't usually trade stocks that do not have a catalyst, even though they can be, quite strong. But always looking for the BPTH we had in I guess it was in March, when I could not make much sense of it. But something like that I would really look forward to.
So you it sounds like you definitely are doing your homework. You are using the pre-market hours, and you're looking for stocks, in play that have big gaps up, or gap downs, and
We
then
need some signs, yeah. We need some signs that there is
Right.
a probability that the stocks can move upwards. That's only what I'm interested in.
right.
And then how far upwards, then it comes to technical analysis, which is purely based on support and resistance, not much more than that so far. Maybe I can improve this as I go, but this is what I try to become better this moment. Somehow this works if you have a good, of course, charting to be able to go back and jump in and go to see the daily, maybe in April, in March, which is quite interesting. But if you do this, even today or the other day, there was the other stock that, again, if you draw the support and resistance, it just follows this line. So there is a pre-market action that gives you a sign, and then you start to look for beginning of the trend in the morning, and then as the day progresses, then you have to adapt.
Is there a specific indicator that you're using on the chart that helps you get this information?
I don't use the chart much. I primarily look to level 2.
Okay, got you. All right, I see.
It's difficult to say. There is this, you get this feeling, after a while, you just watch and you see that it just doesn't go. There is either hidden seller or, it just cannot go beyond this level. And then that's your exit sign immediately. I still try to do this much better, because this is where I failed 2 times, where I had 2 big losses. And once you see it, you know the trade going red, and since it's a demo, you say maybe I get lucky, and then it will come back up. Somehow it doesn't happen, and I think it's good, because you need to become very systematic and cut your loss really soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. As much practice and simulation is the best way to hone your strategy and your skills. Are you trading within a community, or are you trading by yourself? What are you using to help you? Any other resources to help you? Because it sounds like you're doing this strategy on your own and you're trying to learn. Are you using anything else to help you gain?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm not part of any community. Again, I think if I try to figure out things and I will manage to do this on my own, definitely will help me moving forward. Of course, probably can be faster within a community, but in the same time, you also get influenced. And
Right.
I need to feel some pain on my own, and then I will most likely, store this information, and I can create a good foundation. I also try to limit myself to trade from the laptop, so very small screen, so to speak, because I'm not sure if I really need. I do have many screens, but if I'll be able to manage this, then I guess things can become easier later on when I can manage a bigger portfolio.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, Sanjeev, let's go back to you. So you're in second place in week 4, and where are you now currently on the scoreboard? Just curious. Yeah, let's pull it up. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm still on second right now, as of what I saw like 1 hour ago. I don't know about the latest figure, but presently I think I'm on the second.
Yeah. So he's
But
right there.
Yeah.
2, 2,
Oh,
3.
I see.
Right. I see. Okay.
So you're trading a lot in AVDI and OSTK.
Okay. Why are you choosing these stocks? We're just curious.
Actually, as Christian said, like first we see the pre-market levels, pre-market watch list, what is happening in the market pre-market. So we see the stocks which are gapping up or gapping down, and then we select these stocks according to the catalyst. We offer like what news is flashing up, and what's going on with the stocks, and then we try to make up the support and resistance level based on the chart history. So that's how I decide the stocks, and then I decide what is the stock in play, based on my own analysis of gapping up and gapping down, how much has the stock gapped up or down, and then I try to take the trade according to my setup. What I see, what I try to uh, play again and again the same setup, because when I fail the setup, I hit my stop losses, and then I try to figure it out what's going to best and what's going wrong with me, and then I do some little bit of my homework and then try to implement on the next day when the market on the opens. And as I said that after selecting the stock in play, then I just try to execute my strategies according to the setups which I'm seeing on the charts. So that is what helped me a lot, like regaining the consistency in the in few days. When I try to play as real as possible, given if I'm having $100,000 in my account, and I try to stimulate the same amount of feeling, not just like given me $100,000 and I can go haywire, but I try to simulate same thing, like 1 or 2% of my account would be sufficient for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to make 1,000 to 2,000 daily gains, consistent gains, rather than focusing on 5,000 gain on one day and then losing 10,000 bucks this later day. So I just try to maintain the consistency. So I hope I can maintain them in the future. Once I hit my stop loss, like around 1% of my capital, I immediately stop my trading,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just watch the market as it goes.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
And it's good that you're being realistic about it so that when you do go live, you only have a certain amount that you're planning to, put into, an account. So,
And you actually have a very good plan of action
Yeah.
as to how much you're willing to risk, and that is a very
Yeah.
important thing that a lot of traders, they don't have that plan. They think that they're going into the market, they're going to make $5,000,
yep.
and
Yeah.
and then that's their goal. They don't see when it's time to, okay, this is a good goal that I've met $1,000. Let me keep it realistic based on my account size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, like I never ever saw the leaderboard, like where I'm standing up till the 30th September. I accidentally saw, and I was like placed second. So I was like, you know, flabbergasted about seeing that, because I never saw it
You
before
never.
that.
Oh,
Before
you didn't
30th
know where
September.
you were in the leaderboard.
Yeah, I was just trading my according freely, but after seeing that, I have got a bit conscious. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Well, keep it up, and because you're in, you're still in
Fifth.
second place
yeah,
now. He's,
Oh,
yeah.
is he? Oh, yeah.
yeah, he's.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. Jill, what do you think of their plan of action?
So, a couple of things here, and I started off in equity trading in 1998, so I've kind of been through the dot-com boom, have been through the financial crisis, which is why I transitioned into media from there. And there's a couple things. I think Christian is learning his trading plan, and I think when it comes to newer traders or traders that are trying to understand the technicals behind the market well, that having a defined trading plan and going for singles and doubles and setting parameters, and rather than going for the fences and hitting home runs is the way to go. I know Christian was saying that he looks at support and resistance. I think it might be helpful if he learns other indicators, whether it's related to momentum, volume, other kinds of charting patterns, which just comes with experience and learning some more advanced tools. I think if you were able to look at certain price and time and momentum and other indicators that might have helped you to not make your losses so steep, if you were able to look at other indicators that were more than just support and resistance, and that will just come with experience. As far as Sanchez, a lot of content that I cover, and I think this is one of the more fascinating parts of trading, is trading psychology. I'm actually going to have someone on my show October 21st. Her name is Denise Schul. She is the character on Billions, the psychologist Wendy that works at the firm, is modeled off of a practice like this woman Denise has. And what she does is study trader psychology, advise traders, and I think it'll be really interesting. I'm super excited to share that with Karen, with you and your group.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it'll be really helpful
Yeah.
because psychology is really half the battle
Mhm.
when it comes to trading. You know, as great of a technician as you are, as great as a fundamental analyst as you are, with the exception of being a machine, or if you're trading on raw alternative data, it's really hard to separate those emotions. So I'm really excited to pass that along to you. But I think if you take the time to look at other patterns or indicators that are out of your familiar zone, that will be really helpful. And then just kind of getting over the hurdles of psychology. And I think once you get there, you'll see some more consistency hitting singles and doubles. So I think both Christian and Sanji are really on a great path.
What time is that
you, Jill.
that show on the 21st?
That is, I'm pulling up my calendar. It's on the 21st. So we stream this live over Twitter, Karen, as you know. I think it's at 10:10 that morning.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect. I'm gonna
And Karen,
make it.
if you have the time, you are more than welcome to come on set
Oh,
and join
perfect.
us in the studio. If you'd love to meet Denise, I think it will be a great opportunity for you.
I'm gonna
I
put it on
realize
my
it's-
calendar.
Yeah, I know I realize it's during market hours, but I think it would be a great connection for the both of you.
Yeah.
And of course, anyone who's on the webcast now, you're more than welcome to join us in studio.
That's
Okay.
great.
Thank you, Jill.
That's all based on SAC Capital, right?
But I believe it is.
Yeah,
and
I think it is.
I believe it is. I don't think, I think they have that disclaimer where similarities might be there, but it's not necessarily based on the character. It's almost like, I don't know if you guys are watching Succession on Showtime. That's kind of the Murdoch family news story also. It's kind of the same thing. But yeah, Karen, for sure, I will pass along the details to you offline, and I would love to have you there if you can make it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you.
All
yes.
right. Do we have any other stuff that we wanted to cover?
Well, should we go back to the PowerPoint?
Okay. So the reminder again. I guess we want to do our reminder about this. This competition, that it is again ending on October 15th, promptly at 4 p.m. So if you make sure that you get your game plan in order, because we are going to make sure that we close
No
out any
open positions
no
after
open
4.
positions.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we want to be able to announce the winner on that day, on that live stream, which is October 15th. And again, thank you guys for joining us. This was very informative, and I hope that whoever is watching was able to get a lot of good tips and feedback, to help with the trade. Christian, I wish you luck. I hope that you move up in the top 10 in the following week, that this week and next week. Sanjeev, I also wish you the best, and I hope that you're number one. Go from number 2
close.
to number 1. So that's your goal. And thank you, Jill, for joining
Jill.
us. Okay, guys. All right, so we're gonna end the stream.
Okay. Bye-bye and good luck.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.